So we're going to begin in standing today. Okay, our work today is going to be about opening the psoas and the front of the hip flexors, which get very tight from sitting, from even exercise, from riding bikes, from tension and stress as well. So we're going to focus on this front part of the body and just know that it attaches to the spine and the discs, as well as all the way up to the diaphragm. So breathing is really important. So we're going to begin in standing and try to find some softness in the groins. Okay, so start with a block. You're going to need 2 blocks, a blanket and a strap for today. I'm going to stand sideways. You can watch me from the side. The block is going to come in between the legs. And we're going to start here in Tadasana. Close the eyes. Roll the shoulders back and down a few times. Shoulders back and down. Just begin to loosen up the neck and shoulders. And then drop the shoulders down the back. Reach through the fingertips and lift the chest. Okay, when we lift the chest, we don't want to puff the chest out. We want to have a softness. You're lifting the spine, but you're softening your chest and spreading the shoulder blades apart, so the upper back stays wide. So you don't want to squeeze your shoulder blades together. You want to feel the shoulder blades spreading wide, and the shoulder blades are also dropping down. And close the eyes and take a few deep breaths here. Just feeling the descent of the shoulder blades dropping down. And then just begin to squeeze the block, and you can also roll a blanket or a towel here. You're going to roll the inner thighs back, and the hands are here a little bit behind the waist. And I want you to see if you can feel a softness that we're creating. We're taking the inner thigh back and softening or deepening the groin. So the groin should be soft, chest open. And then as you exhale, there's a gentle lift of the lower belly, so the pubic bone moves towards the navel, but without letting the block come forward. So I want you to roll the inner thighs back, block stays going in this direction, and then lift the belly gently at the same time. Then really feel your feet rooting into the earth, feel the chest lifting. Feel the lift through the crown of the head. And feel the groin soft. We're not pushing the hips forward, we're rolling the inner thighs back. There should be a nice natural curve in the back. And so there's a lot going on here in this Tadasana. I want you to stay for a few more breaths. Feeling the soft groins, inner thighs engaged, belly lifted, shoulder blades dropping, leg through the crown of the head. 3 more breaths. Notice that the more you root, the more you can lengthen through the entire length of the spine. Take your hands to the heart. And take a moment to set an intention for your practice today. We'll set a collective intention to let go of inner tension or tightness, unnecessary gripping in the body, in the mind. Let's join together for 1 Om. Inhale. Bow the chin down to the heart. Lift the chin up, release the hands. Take out the block slowly, but stay standing. Feel that same connection with the ground. Come to the front of the mat if you're not there yet. Hands at the heart. We're going to move slowly through Surya Namaskar. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, soften the knees. Come forward into Uttanasana. Once you're here, you can start to straighten the legs as long as you have no back pain. If you have back pain, just keep the knees soft. Hinge from the hips. Inhale, take the hands on the shins, open the chest, shoulders back. And then exhaling, bring the hands down and step the right leg back. Drop the knee onto the ground. So if you need any padding, you can put a blanket under your knee for support. Fingertips on the floor, lift the chest, open the heart, and then bring the arms up and reach up towards the sky. Stay here for a few breaths. Keep the arms alongside the ears. Press the left foot into the ground, press the right foot into the ground, and shift the hips forward. Shift the hips forward. So you want to move your right pelvis towards your left knee. And hold. As you exhale, see if you can feel the lower belly lifting. We want to start to feel some opening in front of the right hip. And then bring the hands down. Step back into plank. You're going to warm up the hips slowly. Come into a plank position. Gaze forward slightly. Inhale. Exhale, knees come down. Bend the elbows and bring your chest and chin to the floor. So your buttocks is in the air a little bit, and then you slide forward, right? We're going to do two types of cobras, a baby cobra. So you lift up slightly, a few inches off the floor, and down. And then you can use your hands to pull the mat towards you. Take the heart forward. Press the pinky toes down, come into regular cobra. And then from here, downward facing dog, hands and knees, lift the hips up. It's the first one, so take your time. If you have tight hamstrings, bend the knees so you can lengthen the sides of the waist. If your hamstrings are pretty open, you can start by straightening the legs, bringing the heels down. Gaze between the hands, step the right leg as far forward as you can, and if you need to help it forward, you can do that as well. Lift the chest, press the right foot down, press the left leg down, and come up. And hold here. Now, if this causes any tension in the neck or shoulders, it's fine to take the hands on the waist, okay? You don't want to create any tension in the neck, but when you lift your arms up, it does help to lengthen the upper attachment of the psoas, which is all the way up to T12. Reach the fingertips up, shift the hips forward, shoulders back and down. Now, as you exhale, there's a gentle lift of the lower belly, and as you do that, you should feel the front of the left hip opening. Bring the hands down, step the left leg forward. And Uttanasana, again, bend the knees if you have any back pain. Otherwise, we want to lengthen the spine, deepen the groins, and fold over the front of the legs. Press the feet into the ground, soften the knees a little bit, come up. And here you can take a slight back bend, but the focus is more on lifting and arching and bringing the hands back to the heart. So that's our first side, sun salutation. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the chest. Left leg back, drop the knee. Press the right foot down, press the left foot down. Inhaling, reach up, so lengthen through the sides of the waist, relax the shoulders, and move the left ASIS, the left pelvis, towards the right heel. So we want to sink the hips forward. The buttocks are relaxed, so we're not gripping, we're not tucking, okay? Keep this very soft. The only thing that's working is the belly, so you want to lift that lower belly. A couple more breaths here. Start to feel the opening in front of that left hip. Belly lifts. Step back into plank. You're always welcome to take your knees down in plank. Okay, so plank pose, press the hands down, spread the shoulder blades wide, hold. Knees, chest and chin to the floor, and then slide onto your belly. Okay, separate the feet a little bit to make space for the sacrum. Inhale, baby cobra, hands off the ground and down. Inhale, regular cobra, and down. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Spread the fingers wide. Lift the outer hips up, lengthen the spine, spread the shoulder blades wide on the back. And then start to peel the heels back. Really spread the feet, spread the fingers, spread the toes. Now our left leg will come forward all the way, as far as you can. And again, you can help it forward with your hands. Press the left foot down, press the right foot down, and then come up. And breathe. Shift the hips forward, open the chest. Reach through the fingertips. Open the heart. And then here we're lifting the belly. Again, hands can be here. Chest open and sink the pelvis. Make the pelvis heavy. Draw the pelvis forward towards the opposite heel. Push the feet down into the earth. And then lift the chest. Watch that you're not over puffing your ribs. You want to draw those lower ribs in and up gently. So the low back stays long. And then bring the fingertips down. Step the right leg forward. And fold. Now when we fold, we want to sort of fold over the hips. So bring the hips forward, relax the head and neck. Open the chest. And then bend the knees softly, pushing and rooting the feet into the earth. Come all the way up. And hands to the heart. Okay, that's one full round. Again, inhale up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Little bit faster. Inhale, lift the chest. Hands can be on the shins here, okay, or the floor. But the chest stays open. Exhale, right leg back. Drop the knee. Inhale, arms up. Good. Let's hook the thumbs here and stretch the fingertips up for 3 breaths. Sink the hips forward. And lift the belly, lift the pubic bone towards the navel on every exhale. Bring the hands down, step back into plank. Hold. This is classical Surya Namaskar, classical variation from the VR school of yoga. Knees, chest and chin. Inhale, baby cobra. So when you come into baby cobra, round the feet, especially the pinky toes, and then come up, and then down, and now your hands are pushing in the ground, but you're not pushing up like this. You're lengthening your spine, kind of coiling your spine forward and up, open the chest, and exhaling, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Lift the hips up, so start on the tippy toes, bring the heels back, gently, slowly. And we can add something here if you'd like. You don't have to, but we can take the right leg up. Inhale, and as you exhale, you can bring it all the way through, nice and slow. So this works on the core a little bit. Press the feet into the ground and take the arms up and reach to the fingertips. And breathe. Press the feet down, left pelvis towards the right heel. Lift the belly, ground the feet. Bring the hands down, step forward. Uttanasana. Press the feet into the ground, come all the way up. Slight back bend as you lift and lengthen the spine, opening the front of the hips. Exhale, hands to the heart, left side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, left leg back. Drop the knee. Inhale, arms up. Hold. Okay, feel the grounding. Shift the pelvis forward, lift the belly. And now hook your thumbs the other way and reach the fingertips up. And we'll hold for a few breaths here. And then bring the hands down, plank. Everything in one line. Knees, chest, and chin. Slide forward. Lift up, but keep your pinky toes on the ground. And down. And full cobra. And down. And downward facing dog. So see, as we go, if you can start to bring your heels closer towards the ground, we want to feel the thighs, upper thigh bones going back. And it's as if you're squeezing a block between your legs. So you want to feel like you're hugging a block in, rolling the inner thighs back, opening the chest. Now, if you want, you can take your left leg up towards the sky. Don't let it open though. We want to keep the left hip down and bring it all the way through. Hug the knee into the chest. And then rest it. Take the arms up, just a couple of breaths here. Again, feeling that lift through the spine, opening in front of the right hip. Uttanasana, forward bend. Push the feet down into the ground and then the knees slightly come all the way up. And hands to the heart. Okay, we're going to keep going with this, adding on a little bit. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the chest. Right leg back. Knee comes down. Now, here we can lift the leg off the ground. So you can take the knee up or you can leave it down. We're going to come up with the leg off the ground into a version of warrior one. Now here, stay here, we want to feel the right inner thigh roll up towards the sky. So this right inner thigh is rotating up and back. Start to straighten the back leg, but drop the left thigh. And then lift. Hold. And we flow through. Knees, chest, and chin. Sarpasana. Bhujangasana. And downward facing dog. If you want, you can take the right leg up, bring it all the way through. You can have the knee in the air here, hands down, step the left leg forward, fold, and all the way up. And a little tiny back bend, exhale, hands to the heart. Feel left side, inhale up. Exhale. Fold. Inhale, lift the chest. Left leg back, knee off the ground. Press the front foot into the earth. Reach up and hold. Drop the right thigh. Okay, so this leg is heavy, but this left inner thigh has to work. You have to really work this thigh bone towards the buttocks. Thigh bone towards the buttocks. Length. Knees, chest, and chin. And Sarpasana, strong legs, pinky toes down. No weight in the hands here. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Hold here. Left leg up. Bring it all the way through. Knee off the ground. Reach up. Hands down, step forward, Uttanasana. And come all the way up. All right, we're going to put it all together and move one breath per movement on each side. You can choose to have your knee on the ground or knee elevated, okay? So we'll work together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift the chest. Right leg back. Exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands into plank. Inhale. Exhale, down. Inhale, baby cobra. Down. Exhale. Inhale, full cobra. And as you exhale, downward dog. One breath. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, bring it forward. And inhale, arms come up. Exhale, step forward into Uttanasana. And inhaling. And exhale. So now we have the left side. Inhale up, last one. Exhale, fold. Lift the chest. Left leg back. Inhale. Exhale. Plank. Inhale, knees, chest and chin to the floor. Inhale, Savasana. Bhujangasana. Downward facing dog on the exhalation. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, step it all the way through. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. And inhaling all the way up, slide back in. And hands to the heart. Now take your block again, and we'll hold here in Tadasana, okay? Like we did in the very beginning, but we did it, now we're doing it again after the sun salutations. And stand and feel. Maybe the breath is a little faster, that's okay. We're creating a lot of energy. And reach the fingertips down, but I want you to really feel these inner thighs going back. And now take your hands in the front of the groins or the hips. And for a moment, squeeze your butt and push the block forward. And feel your groins. And you can notice that they get really hard. And what I want you to do is the opposite. So you're going to squeeze the block, roll the inner thighs back, and feel a softness here in the groins. Okay, that's what we want in our standing poses. In a downward facing dog, a little more softness. Now we're going to bring this into half down dog. So your hands are going to come on the wall. Feet underneath the hips, hug the block in, roll the inner thighs back, and lengthen the whole spine like this. Okay, lengthen the whole spine. So thighs squeeze in, inner thighs back. And as you squeeze the block and roll your inner thighs back, you should feel length through the spine. Watch that you don't collapse, okay? We want to push the hands into the wall and take the pelvis away from the lower ribs. And then as you exhale, draw the belly in and up. As you roll the inner thighs back. Bend the knees, walk the feet forward, and come up. And we're going to take this block again between the legs and come into down dog with the block between the legs. So now we want to feel the thighs rolling in and the inner thighs going up. So walk your hands forward, walk your feet back. Spread the fingers wide and roll the inner thighs up and back. Inner thighs up and back. Couple more breaths here. Notice that if you initiate with that movement, you can start to feel the groin soften and the low back open. And come back and down on the hands and knees. Take the block out. If you have a blanket, it's nice to do it this way, to take the blanket and put it in the groin area so you can have a little space. And we're going to come into child's pose. This is a nice way, especially if the hips grip or there's kind of pain in the groin when you come into child's pose. It's a nice option. So let's all do it with a blanket, a towel, just take a moment to really get it into the groin. So it's like you're lifting your groin up and over the blanket. And then push the floor away from you, relax the forehead down, and open the chest. So while you're here, there's a sense of the inner groins going back. You want to feel that these inner groins are going towards the pubic bone towards the tailbone, and that helps lengthen the spine and soften the bone. And then we'll come up slowly. Okay. Now take your blanket. We're going to place our blanket next to the wall. Hopefully you have a wall. If not, you can come into a supported lunge. But we're going to take our left leg up the wall and our right leg forward. So we're coming into this kind of hip opening. The closer you get to the wall, the harder it is. Okay, so if you're feeling any discomfort in your low back, move your knee away from the wall. Lean forward, come into a lunge position. And now here, what we're working on is, on the exhale, lifting the lower belly and making the tailbone heavy. There's no clenching, there's no gripping in the buttocks. You're just lifting the lower belly up. Hands can be on the waist here, and let's hold. We're going to hold here for a couple minutes this morning because we're really getting into the hip flexors. So push the right foot down, push the left knee down, chest nice and open. Inhale and exhale. Now, if you want to go further, this feels like, okay, the stretch is starting to move up from the quads into the hip flexors. We can take the arms up, but watch that the shoulders don't come to the ears. So we're lengthening the sides of the waist. There is a length and a lift in the shoulder blades, but there's also a dropping of the upper trapezius and the neck muscles. And again, as you exhale, lift the lower belly. Make the tailbone, make the sacrum heavy, without gripping, without tightening the buttocks. And then bring the hands down. Switch sides. Nice long hold. Take the right leg up, take the left leg forward. And the only way to practice spinal extension or back bends is to really open the front of the hips. Otherwise, you can end up jamming your low back. So this is really important for back health. Lift the belly, draw the tailbone down. Stay here for a few breaths. As you exhale, really engage the lower abdominals. We're moving the belly towards the spine, but we're also moving it up towards the chin. Reach the arms forward and up. Tailbone down. Couple more breaths. As you exhale, draw the belly in. It's okay to smile a little bit. When you do that, it softens the neck, it softens the hips. And then release that. Come back into downward dog with the block between the legs. So you're going to take the block between the legs again, downward facing. So we're stretching the hip flexors, but now we're softening. We're deepening the groins. We're taking the pubic bone towards the tailbone. And at the same time, bringing the sitting bones back and down into the heels. Hug those thighs in, lift the chest, open the heart, shoulder blades spread. Don't collapse here. Maintain the integrity of the pose. Good. And then come forward. Next, we're going to lie on our back, coming into internal rotation. This is part of the hip series. Those of you who practice with me regularly know the hip series very well. You're going to lie on the back. You're going to walk your right leg out to the side and drop the knee down towards the floor. Then you're going to look at your body. And you're going to make sure that the thigh bone is in line with the torso. Left ankle comes over the right knee. Open the chest. And let the right hip come up. If there's any knee pain here, you can put a block under your knee, or you can release this left leg and have it on the ground. Hands on the belly. Inhale. Exhale, draw the pubic bone towards the navel. In and up. Inhale. Exhale, pubic bone towards the navel. Good. Couple more breaths. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the right arm up and hold the wrist, the right wrist with the left hand. So what we're doing is lengthening the right side of the body. So it's like you're pulling your right arm up and overhead. And then release, come up. Walk the left leg over to the side, enough so that the thigh bone is in line with the torso, so your whole outer body is in line with the outer edge of the mat. Right ankle over the left knee. Let that left hip come up, palms face up towards the sky. Inhale and exhale, draw the lower belly in and up. Inhale, relax the belly. Exhale, draw the belly in and up. The more you do that, the more you might feel something happening sort of in this hip area. It's not a very intense stretch, but it's a much more subtle stretch. A few more breaths here with the hands on the belly, drawing the lower belly in and up. Now, take the left arm overhead, hold the wrist with the right hand, and start to lengthen the upper attachment of the psoas. A few more breaths. Any discomfort in the low back, you need to lift the belly more. Okay. Good. And then we'll release that. And now let's open the legs a little bit wider. We're just going to go side to side. So we're doing a little windshield wipers, dropping the knees from one side to the other. And you want to let the spine and the hips move as well. And the breathing is this. You're going to inhale to the center, exhale, lift the belly as we go over to the side. So again, we're working on internal rotation of the hips. So here with more movement. A few more repetitions. By the way, this muscle also not only affects the low back, but also neck pain. So when we release the psoas, it helps to release the neck as well. Okay, good. And then hug the knees into the chest. And here we want to feel a softness in the groins as well. So we're deepening the groins like we did in child's pose, softening hip flexors. And then roll to the side and come up slowly. Now you're going to take your block. We're going to come into Ekapada Supta Virasana. So the block will come here on the mat. I'll start with my left leg so you can see me better. Or actually, yeah. So my left leg will be in Virasana, my right leg in front, like this, on the floor. Okay, it's not extended out, it's straight up. If this is difficult, you can have your block higher, okay, make the block higher. If it's impossible to get in this position, then you're going to take a supported lunge position instead, okay? Now here, if you're in a supported lunge, you can use two blocks, two blocks, and you can work here. Okay, so if Ekapada Supta Virasana hurts your knees, then take two blocks. Otherwise, we're still here. Okay, hands back. Lift the hips up, lift the tailbone away from the head. So I want to feel your sacrum moving away from the head, and then bring the hips back down. So you're doing a little posterior pelvic tilt. You should feel a stretch in front of the quads. And if that's easy, you can come off of your block onto your elbows. Watch that the left knee does not go out to the side. So you want to push that left inner knee down towards the floor and lift the belly. And if that's also pretty easy, you can lie on your back and take your arms overhead. Now, how do you know if it's too hard? It's if my knee pops up, then I'm going too far. Okay, my knee has to stay on the ground here. So if my knee is popping up, it's better to come on the arms and hold. A few more breaths. Chin down towards the chest. And then come out. And now you'll sit on the right buttock, right leg in Virasana, and the left leg out in front. Okay, so the buttocks is resting, only the right buttocks is resting on the block. Come back, lift the hips up, move the tailbone away from the head. Slip the hips back, open the chest. Breathe here. Inhale, exhale. A few more breaths. And then if you want to go further, come down onto the elbows. Make sure that the pelvis is tilted posteriorly. Lift the belly, push the inner knee down towards the floor. Keep the chin down towards the chest. And again, if that feels okay, you're welcome to take this variation. It's normal to have the back in an arch. Okay, this is a slight back bend, but no pain in the low back. Okay, so if there's any discomfort, it means your quads are tight and it's pulling your pelvis forward. And you need to work on it here. When we think about our back or our spine, we don't always think about the front of the hips and the front of the legs, but they very much have an impact on the pelvis and our posture. A few more breaths. Good. And then we'll come up. Take the legs out in front for Dandasana. Roll the inner thighs down like we had it in Padasana. And then fingertips down and lift the chest. So here, we don't want to be tense in our groins. Even though our legs are working, we want our groin soft. You can feel the groin area with your hands. Fingertips down, lift the chest, lift the heart. And then release. You can take a down dog or you can take a child's pose here, either or. Child's pose or down dog, if you feel strong, you have a lot of energy, come into your downward facing dog. And imagine that you're hugging the block between your legs and you're taking the skin of the inner thighs back. Skin of the inner thighs back. And come back down on the hands and knees. And if you have two blocks, it's good to use that. You can use your hands on a chair, or if you only have one block, you can use one. Okay, and if you have no blocks, you can have your hands on your thigh bone. If you have two blocks, that's the best. We want to keep the chest open and we want to shift the hips forward. And we're going to work on opening the hip flexors here as well. So get a nice long stance. The hands should be in line with the waist, so not here. You don't want your body forward, you want your body back. Lengthen the spine. Now, curl the back toes under. And for some of us, we'll just stay here. Okay, this will be enough. Or we can inhale, and as you exhale, keep this leg low, and just take the knee a few inches off the ground and start to straighten it. And then bring it down. Okay? Inhale, keep the chest open. Exhale, straighten the back leg. We're going to do this 5 times. That's 2. Inhale, exhale. 3. Inhale, exhale. 4. Inhale, exhale. 5. Okay, we're going to do something to transition between this side and the other. So if you have your blocks, you can take your blocks forward a little, bring your toes back, and shift the weight forward. So we're going to take the heart forward. Here, if it's easy, you can go lower with your blocks, okay? But what you want to make sure you're not doing is this. You don't want to round your back. So the chest stays nice and open, heart stays nice and open, toes come back, quads engaged, hard forward. More breaths. You should feel this in the hamstring, the other part, the back of the leg. And then release that. Take the left leg forward. We're going to come into the same kind of pumping action. Blocks come up as high as you can have them. Arms in line with the waist, so not forward. You're not leaning forward. The chest is open. But shift your knee forward so your knee comes above your ankle. Okay, curl the back toes under. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. 2. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Inhale. 4. One more. And 5. And then release. Now shift the hips back. Good. When we shift the hips back, we're softening the left groin. You can take your blocks a little bit lower, but keep the chest nice and open. And if you only have one block, you can work here. So the hands can be on one block. Ideally, you have 2 blocks. We're going to start investing in yoga props. Take the heart forward. Lengthen the hamstrings, chest open, shoulders away from the ears. We're still maintaining a nice long spine from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. Don't drop your head. Keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine. Good. And then we'll release that. And we'll come up. So let's take Trikonasana. We'll do Trikonasana classical variation. Take the legs wide. We'll turn the right toes out, turn the left toes in, and have the block behind the right heel. Okay, so block behind the right heel, heel to arch, arms out to the side. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen the spine, reach through the fingertips, bring the hand down onto the block, left hand on the waist, and open the chest. And just opening the inner thighs, sides of the waist, warming up the spine. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Now take your left arm up, push the right hand down and reach up. And take the upper ribs down into the body. So we're absorbing the ribs in, and that should lengthen the bottom side of the waist. Again, the head stays in line with the spine. Now use your leg strength, push up and switch sides. Right leg turns in, left leg turns up. Block behind the left heel. Heel to arch. Comes out to the side, inhale. Lengthen, stretch. Right hand on the hip. Push down through the left fingertips, open the chest. Now lengthen through the crown of the head, absorb the right ribs into the body, lengthening both sides of the waist. And then take your arm. Push the left hand out, reach up through the fingertips. Really reach up, lengthen through the crown of the head. And push the feet into the ground and then come up. And the left toes in and feet together. Good. Hands on the wall, Parsvottanasana. If you don't have a wall, you can also do this with 2 blocks or with a chair, okay, like this. We're going to use the wall for support. So press your hands into the wall, left leg back, right leg forward. Push the hands into the wall, engage the quads, push the back heel down and open the chest. Open the chest. Now the focus here is the back leg actually. So I want you to take that left inner thigh and roll the left inner thigh back. as you push the back outer heel into the ground. So the front leg is straight, but we're focusing a little more on internal rotation of the left inner thigh. Push the heel into the ground. Good. And then switch sides. Left leg forward, right leg back. Ardha Parsvottanasana. The back foot is turned out slightly, about 15 degrees. Arms press against the wall. Push the right outer heel into the ground. Inner thigh back, right inner thigh back. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And notice how that changes the pose. Good. Beautiful. Okay. So now for the next one, we're going to have a chair. Okay, we're going to come into warrior one using our chair. And if it feels like it's going to slide, you can have it against the wall. I'm just going to have it here on my mat though. As long as it's on the mat, it should be fine. We're going to come into warrior one. So you're going to step the left leg back. And the back foot is turned out slightly. Okay, so it's about, again, 15 degrees, hands on the waist. And the back inner thigh, this left inner thigh again is going to roll back, just like we did it in the last pose, but now the front leg is bending. Hands on the waist. Roll the shoulders back. Start to shift the hips forward, but keep the back leg really strong so you feel like you're taking your groin back towards your back heel. And if that feels okay, we're going to take the arms out and up without any tension in the neck. So we're lengthening the sides of the waist. The back leg is strong. The inner thigh is going back, and there's a lift in the belly on the exhale. So every time you exhale, you're lifting that lower belly. You feel a lot of work in that left leg, left groin, left inner thigh, and back down. So this variation is a little bit easier on the hips. So if you have pain in the groin area, you can do it this way. Left leg up, right toes turn out. Okay, left leg forward, hands on the waist, and then shift the hips forward, shoulders back, squeeze the elbows in. Don't be in a rush to take the arms up. Let's really root the back outer heel down into the ground. Roll the inner thigh back. Lift the chest. Lift the chest. And then reach up through the fingertips. Roll the right inner thigh back. Reach, shift the hips forward, inner thigh back. Reach, shift the hips forward, inner thigh back. Shoulders away from the ears. A lot of work in the back leg. Almost more weight in the back leg than actually in the front leg. And then let's come up. Good. So since we have a chair, you can take downward dog with your hands on the chair here. And what we're doing is going in the opposite movement. We're deepening the groins now. Pushing the hands into the chair. Push the feet into the earth, inner thighs back, and lift and lengthen the spine. So while warrior one stretches the psoas, this helps to release and deepen the groins and soften the groin. A few more breaths here. And then bend the knees and walk the feet forward and come up. Okay, so remove the chair. For the next one, you'll need a block. Hopefully it's a soft block on a wall. It's a little hard to see me, but I'm going to turn around. Your toes are going to come up the wall, and the block is going to come in between, in front of your shin bone and the wall. So the toes are actually up the wall, the right toes, the toe mound on the ground, toes up the wall. Block in front of the shin bone. And we're coming into a warrior one variation, okay, where you come down a little bit lower, fingertips on the wall, and then roll the shoulders back and lift the chest, okay? So here, it's okay to bend the back knee a little bit. We want to focus on lifting the chest here. It's like a little cobra. And as you exhale, lift the belly and straighten the left thigh up. And hold. Inhale, you can release the knee a little bit. Exhale, lift the chest. Hold. One more breath. And then release. And turn the toes in and step the feet together. Okay? Left leg forward, left toes up the wall, toe mounds down. So this will stretch the bottom of the feet as well. The block will come in front of the left shin bone, hands on the wall. You're using the wall to pull down, to open the chest, to lift. Bend the back knee slightly, open the chest. Inhale, and as you exhale, that's when you start to straighten the right inner thigh up, rolling the inner thigh back, lift the belly, open the chest. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Slow the breathing down. But every time you exhale, we're drawing that belly up, we're energizing that back leg a little bit more. And step the feet together. Okay, we're gonna do this one more each side. Right leg forward, left leg back. See if you can come down a little bit lower. Slide your left leg back a little bit more so that the front thigh is parallel to the floor. Pull the chest open. So you're drawing the hands down, like you're pulling the wall down and lifting the chest. Lift through the crown of the head. And then switch sides. Left leg will come forward, right leg will go back. Have the block in front of the left shin bone, hands on the wall. Roll the shoulders back. Come down lower. Maybe you can come down all the way to a 90-degree angle. Use the block so you're pushing your shin bone, your knee into the block. And then energize your back leg, lift the chest. Lift through the crown of the head. And then release. Okay. From here, downward dog, hands on the chair, or downward dog, hands on the ground. But you're going to do it with the feet a little wider. So the feet are going to be as wide as the mat. And the toes slightly turned in, so you're really feeling the softness in the groins, facilitating the internal rotation. Open the chest. Okay, and come on out slowly. So now take your blanket and place your blanket towards the back of the mat. We're going to roll up the blanket so that you have a little lift for your heel. That's what we're going for. So we're placing the blanket towards the back. If you have a blue pad, you can use those thin pads, fine, or a towel. The left heel will come on the blanket. So the back heel is elevated just a little bit, but it's still turned out to the side. Hands on the waist. Take the right leg forward. Really take it forward. And the legs are going to stay straight right now. I'm going to work on taking that left inner thigh back. Hook your thumbs and reach up. This is it. This is where we're starting today. So we're going to really focus on grounding the back heel down into the earth, rolling the left inner thigh back. Energize the right leg, reach to the fingertips. And breathe. And then release that and switch sides. Take the right heel on the blanket, toes turn out, left leg forward, legs are straight, and then hook your thumbs the other way. So whichever way feels a little awkward and uncomfortable, and we're gonna reach the arms up. The legs are straight here, we're not bending yet. Straighten the front leg, straighten the back leg. The focus is on pressing the back outer heel into the blanket and rolling the inner thigh back. You should feel that in front of the groin. Keep reaching up. This hurts the shoulder, then just have the hands on the waist. But keep the chest lifted. Okay, if your thumbs are hooked, you're really pulling up, sides of the waist long. And then release that. Good. Go back to the first side, right leg forward, left leg back. Heel up, right leg forward. So we'll hook the thumbs, we'll take the arms up, but then we'll let go and let the arms sort of float apart so they're shoulder distance. Now keep the weight in the back heel, roll the inner thigh back, inhale, and as you exhale, bend the knee, reach to the fingertips, open the chest. Come into full warrior one with the back heel elevated, no pain in the low back. You can have as much opening through the back hip, but no pain in the low back. There is a gentle arch, little bit of extension, but we're maintaining length between the vertebrae. And then release and switch sides. Right heel up, toes turn out, left leg forward, hands on the waist. Rotate the hips forward. Okay, arms go up and hook the thumbs. Right, that gives us a little extra length. Then you let go, you let the arms float apart, but there's still a lot of energy through the fingertips. And then feel as if someone's pulling your wrists, pulling the sides of the waist up, so it's hard to come down. So the torso stays long as you drop the left leg. So it's like someone's pulling you up, and then you drop down, and pulling you up, and then you drop down. Straighten the back leg, roll the right inner thigh back. And then release, come down. Step the feet together, Tadasana, okay? So the feet are together now. And then close the eyes. If that feels uncomfortable, keep the eyes slightly open, but just soft gaze. And notice the quality in the legs. When we work on the psoas, very often you can feel more space in the low back. Often people say that they feel lighter, like it's easier to stand up tall without compression. And feel the softness in the groins once we come back to standing. We're going to do one more warrior one. This will be our last one. Okay, heel up, toes turn out, and then take the right leg forward, arms up. Inhale. Straighten the back leg, internally rotate the left inner thigh, bend the front knee, reach up through the fingertips. Reach, reach, reach. Open the chest. Now come a little lower with the front leg and take the left thigh up. And then release that and switch sides. Normal to feel warm when we do these poses and we open the front of the hips. Reach the arms up, inhale, exhale, think up before you come down. So it's like you're lifting up. Don't just drop into the pose, but we push the feet into the ground. We reach the fingertips up, we open the chest, but we make the left thigh bone heavy and energize the right leg up towards the sky. And then come out. Good. So for the next one, we'll use a chair if you have it. Prasarita Padottanasana. If you don't have a chair, you can use a block or you can have your hands on the floor as well. We're going to take the legs wide. The toes are going to turn in a little bit. Okay, watch that you're not collapsed on those feet. You want to keep your legs energized. Take your hands on those groins, these groin areas that tend to get tight. And actually, we want them to be soft here. So you want to feel the groins soften, like they're moving away from your fingers. And as you come forward, you're moving the groins even more away from the fingers. Away from the fingers, we're going to bring our hands forward on the chair for a nice spine release. Legs strong. Inner thighs back, groins soft, and the spine lengthens. Want to watch that you're not just collapsed here. The legs are working hard. So you're lifting the thighs, melting at the groins, lengthening the spine. Push the inner and outer heel down at the same time. And then we'll come up, heel toe the feet in, and come up. Okay. So we're going to use the chair here for kind of a hip opener, slight back bend. Hands are going to come on the chair. And you'll walk your feet forward. Keep the knees bent here. Push the hands down and lift the chest. Here you can keep your chin down. What we're focusing on is the opening in the hips, in the front of the hips. So the chin will be down. You're lifting the hips up. Roll the chest open. Just open the front of the thighs. Make sure the knees don't go out to the side. So the inner thighs go down towards the floor. You can come back and sit for a moment. Okay. Let's do one more. So hands here. Walk the feet forward. Think about the expansion, the opening in front of the hips that we've created. Notice that it might be easier to do a slight back bend without any back pain after you really work on opening the front of the hips. So the inner thighs go down, the chest open, chin down towards the chest. Knees don't go out, so keep the whole foot pressing down into the ground. Shoulders open. And then come down. Okay. We'll keep the chair for Savasana, but we'll move it to the side. So I'm going to show you an option for bridge. We're going to do Setu Bandha next. If you have two blocks, or if you have even a bolster, you can use a bolster under the feet. If you don't, you'll do it with the feet on the floor. But we'll use our strap here. Okay, the strap is going to come around the shin. So watch me first, and then we'll do it together. Our goal here is to have the feet elevated. This goes over the shins, just to the front of the shins. And we're going to pull the strap, push the shin bones forward, and open the chest, and open the hips. Okay? A nice way to do this is with the blocks against the wall, or the bolster against the wall so it doesn't slide. So you can put the blocks here against the wall, and then you don't have to worry about them slipping. If you don't have blocks, you can just have your feet on the floor. Okay, so I'll do it with the blocks against the wall. The strap will come in front of the shin bones. You're going to push your feet into the ground or into the block and lift up. And by doing this, it actually makes it a little easier on the low back. And now we push the shin bones forward, push the thighs towards the knees, lift the chest, and pull out the strap. 5 breaths here. Feel the openness that we created in front of the hips. Worked on that for a long time. Come down slowly. Relax for a moment. You can let the knees fall in. And again, push the feet down into the block or the ground. Pull on the strap so you're resisting with your shin bone. Lift up. Pull the inner thighs down towards the floor. Open the chest. And then slowly, slowly come down. Good. Now we're going to do a different variation. I'll turn to the side so you can see me. Now we're going to do bridge, but with the block between the legs. So if you don't have a block, again, you can use a blanket or a ball, something to hold between the legs. We're going to use a strap for the arms if you have it. And if you can loop it, go ahead and use a loop. Or you can just hold the strap or a belt. So we're going to have the hands through the strap. Squeeze the block. So now we're hugging the thighs inward, activating the adductors, and then hug the block in, lift up. Roll the shoulders underneath. Roll the right shoulder, roll the left shoulder, then reach through the fingertips and pull the strap apart. And at the same time, you're hugging the block in. So hug the block in, lift the chest, open the heart. Hold a little longer. This helps to stabilize the hips, especially after we open the hips so much. And we'll do one more, okay? So you can either have your hands here like this, or if you want to take the clasp, you can also clasp your hands by rolling one shoulder underneath, and then the other. Reaching through the fingertips, lifting the hips up, pushing the thighs forward, opening the chest. Squeeze the block. Keep the eyes soft, keep the throat soft. And then, oof, come down slowly. Oh. Okay. Let's use the strap. We'll take Supta Paramushtasana. I'm going to recommend something. I'll show you how to do it without the wall, but then I'd like you to do it if you can with the wall. The right leg will be up, left leg out. But what's great is if you can push your left foot into a wall. So I'll show you what that looks like. If you turn around again to face the wall. We'll have our left foot pushing into the wall. So you're sliding away. And this helps to really roll the inner thigh down. And then take the right leg up. And so as you open the hamstrings on the right, you're pushing the left leg into the wall and rolling the left inner thigh down. And this helps to, again, release the psoas. Slow the breathing down. Release that. Take the right leg, press it into the wall. Take the left leg up. So you're going to push your right leg into the wall, roll the right inner thigh down towards the floor, and left leg up. And our focus is less about the left leg. This is just a spinal release, but a lot more about feeling the weight of the foot against the wall, rolling the inner thighs down towards the floor. And then release that. Take the right ankle, cross it over the left knee, and come into a supine pigeon. So we're going to pull the left thigh in and push the right thigh bone away. Open the chest. And then switch sides, left leg crosses over the right. Pull the right thigh in, push the left thigh away, and feel the stretch in the left buttock. Every time you exhale, you want to visualize you're breathing out tension, tightness, darkness. And then release that. Let's hug the knees into the chest and just rock a little bit side to side. Good. We'll roll to the side, and for our Savasana, I want you to take your time and set yourself up with your legs up on a chair, okay? It's much better for the psoas to release with the legs elevated. So we'll have the chair, put a blanket on your chair so it's nice and comfortable. And maybe something for your head, blanket, support. And we'll have the legs up on the chair. And the head on the blanket for support. I want you to find a position where the back is nice and flat into the ground. And just take your hands on your groins for a moment here. And we really want to soften them. Imagine that your hip creases are sinking down, down towards the floor, down towards the pelvis. There's no more tension here. There's no need. Palms facing up. Heavy, heavy groin, soft belly. Relax the head and neck. Make the legs very heavy and hold here, letting go completely into the earth. Every exhalation, just letting go a little bit more, making the body very heavy. Releasing the weight of the bones into the earth, into the ground. You want to hold another 2 minutes just to really allow the spine to relax, to allow the psoas to relax. Just bring your awareness back to the breath and focus on really extending your exhalation. Have a flexible, soft psoas. We need to have a quality of letting go. So once you exhale, there's this element of surrendering, softening, releasing, letting go. And then we'll roll over very slowly so as not to contract your hip muscles too much. Come over to the side. And then press yourself up slowly to a seated position. Sitting up on a blanket or on a block, keeping the eyes soft. Noticing if there's a change in your sitting position, if it feels a little easier maybe to sit up tall. Maybe the spine feels a little more open, the hips feel a little more open. Maybe the neck feels better. Right? Tension in the neck or shoulders. Notice the quality of your mind. Bring the hands to the heart. So thank yourself for showing up today. Thank you. Namaste.